Have you ever wondered how cataclysmic events have shaped human history? From the dawn of time, our world has been a stage for dramatic transformations, punctuated by cataclysmic events that have forever altered the course of human civilization. These dramatic episodes, often born from the volatile heart of nature herself, have served as fulcrums of change, turning points that have dictated new directions for our species. Whether it's the thunderous roar of a volcanic eruption or the profound silence of a blight, these cataclysmic events have triggered significant shifts and resets in our collective journey. They have toppled empires, birthed new cultures, and even reshaped the very landscapes we inhabit. Yet they've also spurred innovation, resilience, and adaptation, revealing the indomitable spirit of humanity. This is an intriguing tale of survival, resilience, and rebirth, a testament to our ability to rise from the ashes time and time again. Let's journey back to the earliest known cataclysmic event that rocked the cradle of civilization. Approximately 2.6 million years ago, the world was gripped by the Ice Age. This wasn't a brief winter chill, but an era where massive sheets of ice, some several miles thick, covered about 30% of Earth's land surface. Imagine, if you will, a world encased in ice and snow where the mercury hardly ever rose above freezing. In this harsh and unforgiving landscape, early humans had to adapt or perish. Their survival depended on their ability to innovate, to change, to morph into something more than what they had been, and so they did. They learned to make clothes from animal skins to ward off the biting cold. They discovered fire, a beacon of warmth and light in the icy darkness, which also served to cook their food, making it easier to digest and more nutritious. But the Ice Age wasn't all about survival. It was also a time of exploration and expansion. As the ice began to recede, new paths opened up, leading our ancestors out of Africa and into Europe and Asia. This was the first great human migration, the first time our species truly began to spread its wings. And then, after nearly 2 million years, the Ice Age ended. The massive ice sheets melted, filling the oceans and seas and reshaping the continents. The world became warmer, wetter, and more hospitable. This change in climate allowed for the growth of plants and the cultivation of crops, leading to the birth of agriculture. With the advent of farming, humans could now stay in one place, build permanent settlements, and create surplus food. This led to the rise of early civilizations, the first cities, and the beginnings of society as we know it today. So, in a way, the Ice Age was a crucible, a trial by fire and ice that forged us into the species we are today. It was a time of hardship, yes, but also a time of incredible innovation and growth. As the Ice Age ended, it paved the way for human civilization to flourish. Fast forward to 1200 BC, the world witnessed the Bronze Age collapse. Suddenly, the flourishing civilizations of the Eastern Mediterranean and Aegean world, the cradles of human civilization, were sent into a tailspin of decline and eventual disappearance. The Bronze Age collapse is a period in history that still baffles scholars today. This was a time when great empires, including the Hittites, the Mycenaeans of Greece, and the Egyptian New Kingdom, fell into ruin almost simultaneously. These were advanced civilizations with complex political systems, advanced technology, and extensive trade networks. Yet within a short span of time, they all crumbled. There are several theories as to why this collapse happened. Some historians point to natural disasters such as earthquakes and droughts, which could have disrupted trade routes and caused widespread famine. Others suggest that internal political instability and social unrest might have weakened these civilizations, making them vulnerable to invasions by sea peoples, a term used by ancient Egyptians to describe mysterious naval raiders. As these great empires fell, trade routes collapsed. The exchange of goods, ideas, and information came to a halt. Writing systems disappeared, and with them a significant portion of human knowledge. This period of decline and confusion, often referred to as the Dark Ages, lasted for several centuries, yet out of this Dark Age sprang the seeds of a new era. The Bronze Age collapse acted as a catalyst for change, paving the way for new societies and cultures to emerge. It marked the end of the reign of bronze and saw the rise of iron, a more accessible and versatile metal. The usage of iron led to significant advancements in technology and warfare, ushering in the Iron Age. The Bronze Age collapse, therefore, was not just a period of ruin and loss. It was a period of transformation and rebirth, a time of upheaval that reshaped the course of human history. The Bronze Age collapse marked a significant reset in human history, leading us into the Iron Age. In the 14th century, the Black Death swept across Europe. This was an era characterized by a pandemic of such magnitude that it left an indelible mark on the pages of history. The Black Death, or the bubonic plague as it is often referred to, was a deadly bacterial infection that claimed the lives of approximately 1/3 of Europe's population. This catastrophe, a consequence of the bacterium Yersinia pestis, transmitted through the bite of an infected flea often found on rats, led to the rapid demise of countless individuals. The symptoms were as horrifying as the death toll, with victims suffering from fever, chills, and the dreaded buboes, painful, swollen lymph nodes. But beyond the immediate tragedy and loss, the Black Death catalyzed profound societal shifts. The sheer scale of the mortality led to a scarcity of workers, stirring the embers of what would become the modern labor market. Prior to the plague, Europe was largely agrarian, with serfs working on lands owned by the nobility. However, the drastic reduction in the labor force led to a surge in the value of labor. Suddenly, the surviving workers found themselves in an unexpected position of power. They could demand better wages and improved working conditions, challenging the centuries-old feudal system. This labor revolution gradually gave birth to a new class of wage earners, sowing the seeds for the rise of capitalism. Moreover, the Black Death also sparked significant advancements in medicine. The desperate search for a cure led to an increased understanding of disease and the human body. This was the beginning of a scientific revolution that would forever change our approach to health and wellness. In the face of such overwhelming adversity, the resilience of human societies shone through. The Black Death, although grim, brought about significant societal and economic changes. As we reflect on this dark chapter of our history, we're reminded of the transformative power of cataclysmic events and the enduring ability of humanity to adapt and evolve. Fast forward to the 20th century, the advent of nuclear weapons marked a new era of potential cataclysm. A time when human ingenuity and scientific prowess took a turn down a road fraught with existential threats. In the early parts of the 20th century, the world was introduced to a new form of energy, nuclear power. Harnessing this power for peaceful purposes such as electricity generation was one thing, but it wasn't long before a more sinister application was realized: nuclear weapons. The dawn of the nuclear era was marked by the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. These two events, unprecedented and horrifying, resulted in the deaths of over 200,000 people, the majority of whom were civilians. The scale of destruction was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Entire cities were wiped off the map in the blink of an eye, and the survivors were left to deal with the devastating effects of radiation sickness. But the threat of nuclear catastrophe did not end with the close of World War II. The Cold War, a tense period of geopolitical rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, saw the world teetering on the brink of nuclear war. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 was perhaps the closest we've ever come to a full-blown nuclear conflict. For 13 days, the world held its breath as negotiations took place, averting a disaster that could have ended life as we know it. Even today, the threat of nuclear catastrophe looms large. With more nations possessing nuclear weapons and the rise of non-state actors seeking to acquire them, the risk of a nuclear incident, whether accidental or intentional, remains a grave concern. The nuclear era, while a testament to human innovation, also serves as a stark reminder of our potential for self-destruction. As we look back on the cataclysms of our past, let us not forget the ones that may still lie ahead. We must learn from history and strive to prevent such disasters from happening again. From the Ice Age to the nuclear era, cataclysmic events have continuously reshaped human history. Each event, a pivotal moment, has brought about a reset, a reshuffling of the societal order, and a rethinking of our place in the world. Let's recollect. The Ice Age, an event of monumental climatic upheaval, forced humans to adapt, innovate, and survive in a world blanketed in ice. The Bronze Age collapse, a period of societal regression, led to the emergence of new civilizations and the birth of the Iron Age. The Black Death, a plague of biblical proportions, compelled a re-evaluation of societal and religious beliefs, paving the way for the Renaissance. The nuclear era, a time of scientific breakthrough and devastating warfare, triggered a global rethinking of power dynamics and peace negotiations. In the grand scheme of things, these cataclysms serve as reminders of our resilience and adaptability in the face of great adversity.